How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Lifetime Angler. So, yesterday I had to get this out. And what this is a jacket. What that means is it's getting to be fall time, y'all. We had our first major cold front come through, 2-3 days ago, I guess it was. But what that means is the fishing is about to get good. I'm out here, I'm from Lubbock, Texas, kind of northern Texas, so when we get our first cold front, for any of you that are further up north, y'all are already well on your way into the fall pattern. The guys that are south of us, y'all aren't that far from fall. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to go over my 5 top baits, not including a crankbait. Everybody throws a crankbait during fall, and if you're on a pressured place of water, lake, river, pond, wherever, and everybody's throwing a crankbait, man, it can get old. The fish get tired of seeing it. Your bites go downhill. So we're going to go with 5 baits, best baits for fall that are not a crankbait. So y'all get ready. Here we go. Okay, so number 5, y'all. What it's going to be is it's going to be topwater baits. I'm not including a buzzbait. I'm not including whopper plopper. I'm not including toads, things like that. Really, not even your hollow body frogs. For me, fall time, you need a pencil walker. I don't know what you call them. I call them a pencil bait. They're just a topwater walker. This is the Yozuri 3DB. It's actually my favorite topwater bait. This color, this specific lure. Not ones like it, but this one. Whole different deal. Topwater, fall. Early mornings, walk this thing around the edges of cover. Late afternoons, do the same thing. But even in the middle of the day, it's fall time. These fish are following shad, other bait fishing in creeks and coves. You're going to see schools busting on the surface. Throw this bad boy right past that busting school. Walk it on through, pause it a couple times here and there. Man, the blow-ups are aggressive as can be. It's just fantastic. Alright guys, number 4 is going to be a jerkbait. Man, you can work these slow, you can work them fast. They cover kind of that mid-depth range to the higher range of the water column. You can cover a lot of water with them, but once you find a school of fish, man, you can sit there, jerk, let it rest. The bass, white bass, sand bass, whatever it is you're fishing for, they just nail it, and they nail it with authority. There's no doubt about it. When they want that lure, they're hitting it, and you know it. Now, personally, y'all, I'm going with a shad pattern on just about anything I throw this time of year. You've got the shad moving back into the creeks and coves. That's where the fish are going. They're following that bait. That's what they're feeding on. You know, every now and then I'll mix it up, have something that's got a little bit more of a bright color to it. But jerk baits, if you don't fish them, give them a try. There's 100 different ways you can fish them, from extremely fast and aggressive to slow, subtle presentations. You're missing out if you don't throw one this fall. Alrighty, y'all. Number 3 is going to be a fluke. And yes, it's real similar to a jerkbait, but hear me out here. A jerkbait, you've got the exposed treble hooks. If you're fishing in heavy cover or too close to cover, sporadic cover, where you just can't work that thing in and out with getting it hung up, a jerkbait, you can rig it weedless, get it down there. You can either keep it weightless and it's going to have a real nice slow fall to it, really imitate those dead and dying shad, or you can go ahead, Texas rig it while it's weedless, and you're going to get a quicker sink, get down to the fish if you're finding deeper schools and things like that. But man, this right here, it's going to be subtle. It imitates exactly what they're feeding on. Again, if you haven't picked up a pattern here, we're talking baits that look like a bait fish. So if you have a doubt whether or not a bait's going to work right now in the fall, if it looks like a bait fish, it's going to work. If you're going after something like largemouth, go ahead. This 4.5 inch, 5, 6, 7, whatever you want to use there. If you're going after something smaller like crappie or sand bass, if you want to scale that bad boy down to a 3-inch bait, go for it. you're still going to be able to get whatever. This is just a great versatile lure. A lot of times I'm casting it out. I'll use this as a topwater as well on busting schools. Oh man, get a school going. You see them busting out. You don't have your topwater tied on. Your spoon's been broke off or whatever, but you got a fluke on. Okay, toss that bad boy out. As soon as it hits the water, just start popping it. Pop, 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 pop. It's just going to sit there and skip across the top just like those shad are doing. Man, it's great. Again, if y'all can't tell, fall is probably my favorite time to get out and fish. But anyway, let's keep going. Okay guys, we're getting close to the end. Number 2. This is a bait that majority of the year it's one of my go-tos. But again, it just really shines in the fall. It's a great bait. It's very versatile. You'll hear me talk about it time and time again. What that's going to be is just going to be a soft paddle tail swim bait. This here is a Boyd Duckett BD series. It's just a 4-inch. You know, it has nice pretty eyes on it and whatnot. Again, you noticed a shad pattern. Another one I'm a huge fan of are the Rage Swimmers. Again, 4-inch. Well, 3 3/4 inch. I like that 4.5 inch size for my paddle tail swim baits. For me, that's just where I found success. Play around, see what you do. But the way I'm going to rig those is on a just plain jig head. I like these squadrons from Strike King. Either an 1/8 or a 1/4 ounce on those heads. And that's going to give me just a slim... It's almost the same thing as your crankbait, but it's not as obnoxious, it's not as noisy, it's not as erratic of a motion, so it's going to blend in a little bit more. So again, if you're in a high pressured area, this looks a little bit more natural than what everybody else is throwing. That dang crankbait that, man, I love them, but in the fall I hate them. Now, the other way I'll rig this. If I need more than a 1/4 ounce, or I'm going for a big fish bite, something I want a bulkier profile, I want them to think this is the big T-bone steak. This isn't just some, I don't know, McChicken from McDonald's or something. This is a good meal. They're going to hit it. It's going to be that big fish, that personal best you've been looking for. I'm going to rig one on a swim jig. I'm a huge fan of jigs. I'm a huge jig fan of paddle tails. So it only makes sense for me to pair the two together. I like the 6 Cents Divine. This one's a 3/8 ounce, I believe. I don't go much over about a 1/2 ounce with that. But do that. Put one of the Rage Swimmers on it. Get that thing in. That makes that a nice weedless presentation. If I've got any vegetation that's left in the fall, getting later into the fall, you got good green vegetation, I'm talking. Not the crap that's died and is breaking off bottom and all that, but that good green stuff that's just holding a bunch of fish. That thing can get right down in it, and the biggest fish that's buried the deepest in that, it's going to pull it right on out. So hey y'all, we're about to go on to number 1, so hang on, stay with me, don't leave the video just yet. Okay, y'all, so we're finally down number 1. The other lures haven't been in any specific order, but this one is my number 1 pick, my top. Man, I've got it tied on year-round, but especially in the fall, this lure shines. It doesn't matter if it's bass, it doesn't matter sand bass, walleye, crappie, what you're going for. This is a fantastic lure, and in the fall, it's even that much better because everything's feeding up, so you never know what you're going to hook into. But before we get into it, y'all, if you will, please go hit the subscribe button and the bell notification if you enjoy these videos, if you like the content that the channel's putting out. Also, drop in the comments. Let me know what your favorite fall lure is. Now, here we go. It is a spoon. Been around for ages. A lot of people think they're boring, whatever. I mean, it's a hunk of metal with a treble hook. Hunk of metal that's painted. This is a softer lead that I can bend to get a little bit different action out of. But guys, you can throw stuff like this here. I mean, it's got a tailspin. It's going to add some more flash, some more action. You've got that realistic pattern there. Guys, I'll vertically jig them, I'll cast them and hop them out, I'll cast them, reel them in, but whether I'm coming over and I find a school down below me and I'm going to jig them, whether I see a school busting and I just need something like a Castmaster, throw it out there, reel that bad boy through and pick up fish as I come through that school. If I'm hopping them off the bottom in a creek just looking for where fish are, no matter what situation you run into, that spoon during the fall, you need to have it tied on. It's a fantastic lure. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Man, I love the fall time. I don't get out and fish near as much as what I want to during the fall. Somewhat I can still wear shorts. Unfortunately, mornings I need jackets and the fish are biting like crazy. It's a great time to get out. If you know someone who's a new angler or someone who's wanting to get into fishing, it's the perfect time of year to take them. The weather's nice. The fish are biting like crazy. So don't sit around. Don't keep scrolling through YouTube or anything like that. Sit down, figure out when you got time, and you and someone else go fishing. Until next time, y'all stay safe and tight lines.